Next one.
Hi Rob, my name is Amber. I come from the UK and I've got a question for you. Well, more of a question for Gusto Gummy, in fact. I was wondering, Gusto, do you prefer living on your own with Artie Deco or do you prefer living with the rest of the Gummy Bears? Thank you.
See what I mean? We have lovely fans from all around the world. Thank you, sweetie. Let me qualify that right away. When I say sweetie, I know I'm older, and I realize I'm going to go off on tangents every now and then, because clearly I was aptly cast as Yakko. I haven't shut up for 40 minutes. But when I say sweetie, it is truly a term of endearment. I don't mean it to be like a creepy old man, so please forgive me if I seem to be overstepping. So, young lady, or Madam, Ms. You brought up the Gummy Bears. Yeah, Artie Deco was my bird. Maybe I even did the voice of Artie Deco. I don't remember. It's probably somebody else. But I had like a parrot who lived on my show. You can check them out. Gusto Gummy on YouTube, or Gummy Bears. And do I prefer hanging out with Artie Deco or the other Gummy Bears? Well, I got to tell you, having worked on a number of episodes, the late, great Lorenzo Music, whom you guys know as, I forgot which Gummy, but you folks who like older television remember him as Carlton the Doorman from Rhoda. He played the Bill Murray character in, Ghostbusters cartoon. He sadly passed away a few years ago, but it was a gas. Corey Burton was Gruffy Gummy. We love Corey Burton. June Foray was Grammy Gummy, and she's passed away, but made it to a 99. Just an incredible group of actors. It's never, Lorenzo was Tummy Gummy. And you're right, Nadia, he was Garfield as well. So when you get a chance to hang out with those kind of Gummy Bears, it don't get no better. So I think I'll choose them. Thank you. Next question.
Hey, I have a question for him. What advice would you give to a beginner voice actor like myself? What advice do you have for me?
Well, thank you, sweetie. What advice would I give to a new voice actor? Small V, large A. Voice acting is about acting. I, like Maurice, Frank Welker, Peter Cullen, Tress MacNeille, Nancy Cartwright, on and on and on. We all started doing theater. In Maurice's case, it was stand-up. In my case, it was live music and improv. Billy West, same thing. And it really is about acting. I think the reason that you folks love a lot of these characters, and often your parents love them, and sometimes your grandparents, like Bugs or the Flintstones or whatever, is because they're well acted. So my advice would be to learn to act. And I think the opportunity, it's a gift to yourself when you take the opportunity to do something that's a little out of your comfort zone, to get on stage, to understand that when you screw it up, it's not the end of the world. I can't even tell you how many times I've gone up on stage and forgot a lyric or forgot a line, and you learn how to roll with it. But all that does is give you confidence in your ability to create. So I believe that learning to act with your voice and others, and it's doesn't have to all be done at one time. This is a marathon, kids. I'm old enough to be most of your parent, maybe grandparent, and I ain't even close to done. And I've been in LA for 43 years. The late, great Paul Newman said in an interview once, just maybe 6 months before he passed away, that he didn't think he really got it in terms of being an actor till he was 70. So that's great news. Improv is also really helpful, learning to think on your feet and create like that, like writing that little song I wrote before I got here. So all of that helps you to act, and that translates into voice work or stage work or what have you. So thank you. Next question.
Hey Rob, this is a bit of an odd question. Do you have any recollections or interesting stories about your time working on Danger Rangers? I ask because I've been on this deep dive into the show's production, and of all shows to have a rabbit hole, it's this one. Bird also says hi.
Danger Rangers. Mark Hamill was on that. Who else was on that? Well, I was on that. I played a mouse. Something about mice. Biker mice, Pinky and the Brain.
I was, I think his name was Jock, one of the mices on Cinderella. I was that.
So, and then, yeah, I'm predisposed to doing mice. What does that tell you? Yeah, the thing I remember most about it was produced by my dear friend Jerry Hauser, whom you guys would know actor-wise from a great movie from when I was a kid called The Summer of '42. And check out Jerry Hauser. Also, I'm a big hockey fan. Jerry played Killer Carlson in Slapshot, the movie with Paul Newman. Just a wonderful friend. I spoke to him just last week. Jerry produced that show, and Randy Rogel, our friend from Tunisia, Morocco, Uganda, Angola, Zimbabwe, Djibouti, Botswana, wrote that music, and there was a lot of it in it. So, yeah, oh, and I think also John Kassir, the Crypt Keeper, was on that show. And thank you very much for asking. There's another one that I forgot. Listen, when you're lucky enough to me, lucky enough to like me, to have made a living doing something you would do for free around people you would choose to have in your personal life, there really is no bad experience. And I know your question wasn't about was it good or bad, but all I can tell you is it was a gas. And of course, Mark Hamill. Mark is one of the kindest, obviously gifted, but I've had the incredible privilege of hanging with Mark on a number of occasions and different events where we sign autographs and stuff. And Mark is exemplary in the way he handles his celebrity. He's just not only a delightful guy and a really gifted guy, but he's wonderful with the fans. No pretense, no attitude, and that's how you behave if you're lucky enough to garner anything resembling celebrity, and Mark certainly has. So those are the really high points of Danger Rangers. Thanks. Do we have another one, or is that it? Oh, cool. We got another one. All right, fire away, boss.
Hey, Rob. My question is whether there were some one-time characters that you'd like to voice again.
Oh, thank you. One-off characters that I'd like to voice again. Gosh. Well, I would, because I used to do a show called The Tick, in which I was Townsend Coleman, who played the voice of the Tick. I was his sidekick. Yeah, just wrote that. Actually, Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees did the first season of The Tick, and I was out there on the last 2 seasons of The Tick. And there were a couple of one-off. Oh, I know what it was. I think I maybe did 2 episodes, 1 for sure. I did a character on The Tick called Brainchild that I frickin' loved. It was this surly, nasty, smart-ass kid who had this globe, rather than this sort of half a clear globe on his head. Check out, just Google Brainchild /Tick or whatever, and you'll see. And I love that character because he was everything that I wanted to be when I was a little kid, but couldn't because I would have been disciplined all day. Just a stinky, smart-ass, know-it-all, poopy kid. And so, yeah, Brainchild and The Tick, I love that show. I think that to this day, I really enjoyed the most recent on-camera version of The Tick on Prime, I think it was. And the actors are terrific, but apart from that, I got to say that version of the animated Tick, even the ones I wasn't in, that Ben Edlund created when he was 25 or something. Matter of fact, when I first met Ben Edlund, when The Tick started, I remember thinking that he was a production assistant because he's like this kid having a Coke in the corner. And I remember I used to see him all the time, and I'd say to the producer, who's that? He's here. I mean, is he like he doesn't work at the studio. I see him only on, he goes, oh, that's Ben Edlund. He created the show. So yeah, precociousness runs rampant in Hollywood. But The Tick was fabulous, and Brainchild was totally one I would want to do again. Thanks very much. Fire away. Okay, last one.
Well, good evening, Mr. Paulsen. This is Brongar. Hey, does pineapple belong on pizza? That is a question I'm asking all of the voice actors.
What was the question? I couldn't quite hear it. Say again? Oh, does pineapple belong on pizza? Okay, I thought it was some code like the Grunion are running tonight. Get ready. Pineapple belong on pizza. Not for me, dude. Not for me. Cheez-Its, on the other hand, I could put on anything. And I'm not even paid by these people. I love Cheez-Its. I am not a big fan of pineapple on pizza. It's kind of like salt and caramel. I don't get that. I know that one's supposed to... Oh, when I was a kid, I'd see people just violate a beautiful piece of watermelon with salt on it. God, I could never get that. It was awful. So no, I'm not a big pineapple guy. You may not know this, but I'm not one, but two of the Ninja Turtles. I was Raphael when most of you were very little or even not even born. And then Donatello on a later iteration. So I do know a lot about pizza vis-a-vis the TMNT. And for me, it's hot fudge, marshmallow, tuna fish, and Doritos. Or Cheez-Its, as the case may be. But for me, not about pineapple. But anyway, that's it. We got our questions done. I hope you enjoyed that. And as I